I dwell in performative moments where an outstretched hand is no longer a gesture, but a moment of love, lasting until sleep, until waking, until everyday life. Performance may startle, surprise, confuse, astonish. I dwell in performative inquiry, action space of inquiry and reflection. And whether we are creating a performance or performing on stage, or performing our everyday lives, like you perform for the guy at the end of the bar. Performance calls into presence the unsaid, the unspeakable, the unsayable, or lets it slip, slide in between. And within performance, there are stop moments. David Applebaum tells us about the stop. The stop is a moment of crisis, a moment of opportunity, a moment of risk. A stop is the unexpected stranger at the door. Do I open it? A stop is like a child tugging at your sleeve. Wait, this moment matters. A stop is a possibility of natality, where we might encounter each other, engage with each other, as if for the very first time. I want to share with you a stop that's been haunting me. It's the time I fell out of the sailboat of my lover. Well, actually, it wasn't my lover's sailboat. It belonged to my husband. And like my husband, wasn't exactly up to date, didn't have all the greatest innovations. But it was an International 14. Now, an International 14 in the sailing world is like a Jaguar or a Corvette. And when I'm sailing on the International 14, E equals MC squared, it's as close to flying as I'll ever get. I'm crew, he's skipper, and we're sailing into the wind. And you lean out against the wind, but sometimes the wind is so strong that you have to get out on the trapeze. What's a trapeze? Well, it's a big, heavy harness with a hook, and there's a 25-foot wire attached to the top of the mast, and an eye. And when he yells, "Get out on the trapeze, we're going to tip over," then I hook up to the trapeze, and I get out on the gunwale of the boat, and I lean against the wind, over the sea, the water rushing underneath me, and we take flight. But one time, the wind disappeared, the sails collapsed, and I fell into the water. Splash! And the boat rocks back and forth, and my husband's at the tiller trying to balance the boat. Get in, he yells. But I can't, I'm being dragged along. And my son is at the beach videotaping us. And he refuses to destroy that videotape even today. The shame, the humiliation, dragged along in the lake. And somehow, my husband balances the boat, and he reaches out his hand, and I grasp it. And like a bedraggled Venus, I rise gracefully out of the lake and step into the boat. Ready to tack, he yells. Ready to tack. Watch your head on the boom. Out on the trapeze. I hook up. Feet on the gunnels. And I'm out. Like a resurrected angel. Embraced by the wind. But this moment stops me. My husband reaches out his hand, and I clasp it. An offering, an invitation, forgiveness. And I wonder how many times do I fail to see that hand outreached in forgiveness, invitation, welcome. The hand of my husband, the hand of my children, my friends, students, colleagues. This stop is not so simple. There's more. This is not a stop about a hero's narrative, a distressed damsel and being rescued. It's not about a husband dealing with a failed marriage, wide awake, reaching out his hand. I grasped it. Yes, I will. No, there's something more. My husband reaches out his hand, and I grasp it. This is a moment of reciprocity, an offering, an acceptance. Where an outstretched hand, it's not a gesture, but a moment of love, lasting until sleep, until waking, until everyday life. He reaches out his hand. Yes, I will. Yes, we will. Yes.